new cars in the Crew Motorfest. There is still more to come out this update. There's new cars, but I know some of you actually didn't play much of the Crew 2 and are new to Motorfest, and there's a lot of cars that you don't own. So there's also returning cars from the Crew 2 coming back to Motorfest that you can buy, and a lot of them are in this next month. Specifically, 12 of them across just these next 4 weeks. What's going on, boys? My name is Sid, and welcome back to the channel. Head down there, subscribe, check out any of these other things that I do and am on, and let me explain to you what these upcoming 12 vehicles that are in and a part of this next update are. Starting with week... Actually starts kind of on a somber note. There's no year 1 pass cars. The year 1 pass is over. Done. The 25 cars are out. There's no more year 1 pass. Do I miss it? No, absolutely not. I've got a video out on the pros and the cons of the year 1 pass and some stuff that really needs to improve. Check out that video because I'm not going to convince myself I actually missed the year 1 cars. Add cars, yes. In a good way, preferably. Not in the year 1 pass way. But no, I mean, it's not a car, but it's just kind of interesting to think. Year 1 pass, done. Over. But then we move on to the main stage. The first car in the Crew Motorfest this next week. We have the Cayenne Basalt Edition is in the main stage. Wait, it has green headlights? Whoa, I didn't remember that. I mean, it must have in the Crew too, but the green headlights are cool. Do I keep forgetting this? Because there's other cars with unique headlight colors as well, isn't there? I'll never remember which car, but I know that there is other cars with unique color headlights. With September's theme being designers, we have the Basalt Edition as the car. I guess it's an excuse to chuck in the Basalt. I don't know how it really pertains to designers, because I mean, I guess obviously someone designed it, but it wasn't really a car in the Crew 2 where its design was an important thing. It's whatever. They've brought back motorpass cars as main stage before, so I don't know. Sure. I mean, if anything, this gives me a Mansory vibe. You know, Mansory that make the ugly cars? It kind of feels like Mansory, so maybe that's what it is. Maybe it's supposed to be like a Mansory car. But this happens on the Yanamize week, the first week of the update, the main stage. But there's a lot of other stuff that happens that first week, where you'll be able to go into the main stage and do the challenges, do the weeks, do the whatevers, and get in the 3rd tier of the main stage, the Cayenne Basalt, coming out in the Crew 2 Returns. I don't know why that made it sound like a Batman movie. The last ever shop editions from the Crew 2, the last ever cars coming from a Crew 2 update, the Maserati Ghibli in Street Tier 1 and the Maserati Levante Trofeo in Street Tier 2. These 2 cars are the last ever shop cars being added from the Crew 2. Do I miss it? Do I already miss it? Nah, I've already done a video getting nostalgic about it. Adding cars is good. Hopefully they're new to Motorfest once next time. But these 2 cars also return on week 1. Week 1 is 6 of the 12 cars out this month. They really do front heavy load these updates, which I've never really liked, but what are you gonna do? What can I do, you know? I will say, out of the Crew 2 cars returning, the 2 Maseratis are definitely my least favorite. So it's a shame that those 2 end up being the grand finale in the Crew 2. But it's not just shop cars returning on week 1. We also get some motor pass returns. Now, if you don't remember the motor pass, it was the battle pass system in the Crew 2 where you got 3 vehicles exclusive behind the motor pass if you bought it, and 1 vehicle that was free to anyone who leveled it up. These cars were exclusive in the Crew 2, however, they became buyable in the Crew 2, but they did not all become buyable in Motorfest. Only the ones that were already buyable in Crew 2 were made buyable. The rest of them have slowly, a chunk at a time, been returned. Now, the first one that I have on the list is the Audi RS5 pace car from the Crew 2's US Speed Tour update. This was in the US Speed Tour East's Motor Pass, And, you know, I like this one. I like this one because as much as, you know, it's cool to have a pace car in the game. If you get rid of the livery, get rid of the topper that I put on there, it's just a pretty cool customized Audi RS5. This thing is going to be buyable for everyone finally. Week 1 of this next update. Don't know how it really pertains to designers, but I think they're just bringing these cars back. Because also from the USB Tour East update, also returning on the first week of this next month, a car that people have wanted to be buyable for a very long time is the Corvette C8. This thing is finally, the racing version is finally going to be buyable for everyone in the Crew Motorfest. A car that, I guess, I don't know if this one should have ever been a Motorpass car, but it is coming back, and that's quite nice. I just really like this car. Like, I like its looks. I like its vibe. I think racing cars are cool. Soon, alright. Whoa, who turned off the lights? If you've been waiting to buy this car, well, you finally can soon. And the last cars pertaining to this first week of the main stage, as well as the last Crew 2 Motorpass returns, which I think was also in the USB Tour update. I think it was part of the other one, the USB Tour Trackmania look-it update. The Lotus Evora Overcut Edition. This thing is returning on that first week. And here's the thing that I have to say about these Motorpass returns, which I think these might be the last ones. I think there's a fair chance that these are the last ever returning Crew 2 Motorpass cars, because I haven't really been able to keep track, and that's a bit of my complaint. Every Tower just didn't tell us. They just stopped telling us. They used to tell us when Motorpass cars were returning, but they just stopped telling us. You know how I had to find this out? Shout out Smiley, friend of the channel, helps out on the Clips channel, as he went through his account because he doesn't own these cars and found all the cars and when they're coming back. I own them, so it just means I have no idea on that information. Even as a content creator, I didn't get told that information of which Motorpass cars are coming back when. It's weird, but I think it's because if I had to assume, I assume they do not care. And they just want these cars out and done with, and then want to move on with updating the Crew Motorfest as the Crew Motorfest. I hope that's what it is, and I hope it means we start getting more Crew Motorfest cars. I hope the new cars, like new 2 Crew Motorfest cars, really expand now that we are finally fully done with the Crew 2. But if you wanted to pick up the Overcut Edition, it'll be out in the first week. Now on to week 2. Week 2 will mark exactly 1 year from the Crew Motorfest's release. 1 full year. Marking it as the anniversary week, which they used to do in the Crew 2 a bunch as well. Which actually, speaking of, for some reason, this is the one I remember. I know there was other ones and there was other cars. This is the one I remember though. In the Crew 2, they did do a 1 crew credit car. It was $7 and it was 1 crew credit. That car was to celebrate the 1 year of the Crew 2. Well, 1 extra year. Every year they did 1 more. There was a few cars that came under this 1 crew credit. At some point, it was also a hypercar. They did do the Corvette in hypercar for 1 of the years. It was essentially just a car that was made 1 crew credit as a celebration of the 1 year. A car that essentially anyone and everyone could buy because it was $7 and 1 crew credit. They might do something like that again. I don't know. Clearly, the Crew Motorfest is different to Crew 2 in many ways. However, it would be nice to see this return, as I get some cool videos out of it, and you guys get a vehicle that, if you didn't own it, is very, very cheap. So, hopefully, we get that. It'd be nice. But what we actually do know we're getting on week 2 is the main stage legacy, returning the Forsberg 350Z, a car that I don't even know if you can get in the Crew 2 at all, even though every other car has returned. This thing obviously returned in the main stage back in the Forsberg month in the last update, and it's now returning again in the main stage legacy, meaning you'll have to do like 10 events or so, and you will get this car if you didn't get it in the main stage previously, and it returns the summit. Is the main stage legacy getting good? Nah, I've got a video complaining about the main stage legacy. Actually, no, I don't. That one's coming up soon. But that's basically it for week 2. Nothing other than the main stage legacy. Moving on to week this week is actually labeled with the creators, the brand that the crew made in the Crew 2 to start featuring real-world graphic designers to come in, and some from people internal at Ivory Tower, but some like Chenko, the Ice Hunter, a graphic designer by that name who made this car. Same with the Yacid Design, same with the KS Masked Leader. These cars were designed by real-world graphic designers who didn't really have much to do with, the game specifically. They brought them in, they let them make a car, and then they feature that car in the game. Pretty cool, right? This is the title of this one. But interestingly, some of these cars actually are coming back. And I guess this one makes sense because, it's the designers month and, KS, Masked Leader, all of these are designers. The Sprewmeister vehicle is returning from the USB Tour Next update in the Crew 2. This thing is coming back. It was a free vehicle in the motorpass, but free didn't mean not time locked. It was still time locked once the motorpass was over. It's viable in the Crew 2, but now it's returning as a Crew 2 motorpass return, which is the only thing happening this week, but there's a lot of them. We're also getting the Proto Sparrow for you to be able to buy on that same third week. We are also getting the Proto Flashback, a hypercar themed on like old retro video game cars, basically. This thing is coming back from actually the last ever motorpass, I'm fairly certain. This thing was from the American Legends Flashback or whatever that update was called. They kind of gave up with having the episode 1s and 2s match. This thing returns and is buyable in the Crew Motorfest very, very soon. Ain't that nice, right? Just getting these cars back. I mean, they're finally done, basically, but this is the last unbranded or Crew branded car returning in this update, because the last motorpass return of this week, and maybe the last motorpass return ever, I need you guys to sort of help me, the more knowledgeable of you, to help me know which are left, because I don't think there's any left, especially when you consider that this thing was from the last motorpass, right? Well, what cars are left? Well, another one coming out this week, which I actually kind of like, is the Nissan GT-R Harrow Edition, which I like mostly because it looks like a knockoff Liberty Walk, right? Because they released this car right after announcing that they were collabing with the real Liberty Walk. The GTR Harrow Edition is one of my favorites cars that they've done, really. Nissan has just been getting the best of the best motorpass cars, honestly. They've got some cool stuff, and main stage cars, summit cars, and all of that. For some reason, Nissan cars in this game just go unreasonably hard. Well, this thing returns for you to be able to buy on week 3. And finally, the last week of this next month is week where we are getting a Porsche Taycan edition vehicle in the Porsche Motorfest Selection week. Now, this thing we know through the official lineup post where we can see that Porsche Taycan Turbo S Thunder Edition Summit Contest Rewards September 25th. We have no idea what this thing looks like. We don't know what it could be. Most of the custom show weeks have been retro themed, so we couldn't accidentally get a glimpse at it there. But Porsche Taycan Turbo S is going to be the summit car of this next month. But I guess we'll get to know what it looks like maybe even tomorrow or the day after tomorrow when we get the reveal of the next month. And then you'll actually receive that car on October 2nd, the first week of the last month, on the JDM month. It's going to be interesting if this car will be actually designed by someone, because obviously there's so many designers in this update. It'll be cool to see if, yeah, this one is also made by a designer, this being the designer main stage. This thing just pop and crackle. I forgot I put the engine kit on it. So confused that it popped and crackled. Back on this website, actually, there's a final bonus. We might receive the last unknown hypercar in this update, because we know what the other two were. They were the Elite Bundle cars, but we don't know what this last to-be-revealed hypercar is. We've only got one other hypercar coming out October, but we don't know what this one will be, the to-be-revealed hypercar. So, it'll be interesting to see. But on that note, that is about it for all the cars coming out this next month in the Crew Motorpass. Thank you so much for watching. I really thank you, popular members. Especially thank you to famous members. And I didn't say thank you to star members. We don't have any. Become a star member and an insane top of the top icon members. HK. I will see you boys in the next one. That's about it for me in a bit.